Page 4, exam review. Question 29 begins with naming the type of reactions and balancing the reactions. A is a combustion reaction that balances with 2, 15, 6, and a 12. Letter B is a double replacement reaction. Letter C can be classified as a single or double replacement reaction. On the test, though, you would not see one like letter C. D is decomposition. Question 30. Write an equation to balance the following word reactions. So you have nitrogen plus oxygen reacts to form nitrogen dioxide. So when you write nitrogen and then plus oxygen, then the arrow yields nitrogen dioxide. You have to have a 2 on nitrogen and a 2 on oxygen. Since they are red, they should be diatomic, producing NO2. Then to balance the reaction, you need a 2 in front of the oxygen and 2 in front of the NO2. The type of reaction is a synthesis. Letter B, sodium chloride would be NaCO plus magnesium. Magnesium would not be diatomic because it's not red. On the periodic table, it is not a gas. Yields MgCl2 plus sodium. Sodium is not diatomic because it is not a gas. And then balance the reaction. So that would be a single replacement reaction. 31, predict the products and balance the reaction. So you have 2 compounds as reactants in A. So that means it's going to be a double replacement reaction. Your expectation is you would have 2 compounds on the right side after you switched both positive items of the iron and the potassium. So they would bond with the other element's negative part. So your products would be that you would get iron Roman numeral 2 phosphide and potassium chloride, and then balance the reaction. Letter B would be a single replacement reaction because you have a single element reacting with a compound. So that single element is going to replace the lead, and you'll get aluminum nitrate, and lead kicked out by itself, and then balance the reaction. Which element is reduced and which is oxidized? This is only for pre-AP that they have to identify oxidation and reduction. So you're looking for what is the single element change from reactant side to the product side and its charge. So when you look at the aluminum, it starts out as a 0 when it's a single element by itself. And then as you go to the product side, aluminum becomes a positive 3 charge when it bonds with the nitrate. So it goes up in value from 0 to a positive 3. That means it's been oxidized. While the element lead goes from being in a compound as a reactant and having a positive 3 charge to lead being kicked out by itself. So once it's by itself, it has no charge. So the charge value went from positive 3 down to 0, meaning it was reduced. Question 32. So you got to be able to explain the difference between ionic and covalent compounds, and you got to be able to write formulas and name the ionic and covalent compounds. The difference is the ionic compound is always made out of a metal and a nonmetal that transfers electrons from the metal to the nonmetal, while a covalent compound is only made between 2 nonmetals, and they overlap orbitals to share valence electrons. Question 33. When do you use prefixes in a compound? When you have an ionic compound and the metal is within being a transition element and extended to the right within the 2 columns to the right of it. So inside the blue box that I have on my periodic table, if the first element is inside that blue box, you need to be checking to see what charge that Roman numeral needs to be that was crossed over to the opposite element subscript in order to reverse what was crossed over to get your Roman numeral. Question 34. When do you use Roman numerals in the name, and how do these get used when writing compounds? I just explained that. Sorry. Good luck.